Hi children, my blessings to all of you. I hope you are all doing well. We meet soon. There is an unexpected gap, but I believe that you are continuing studies and also spending time with your parents, with your books, and also enjoying the free time. Okay, no problem. We are going to meet soon and continue our routine work. Now, I am taking up one lesson in social studies, that is National Liberation Movements in the Colonies. It is 15th lesson in your book. I am taking this lesson because of three reasons. I know you have good social teachers, but I am very much interested to be with you, to share the interesting topics, share how to go about, how to go forward. So, I want to continuously be with you and communicate with you. Actually, I am taking up this lesson because of another reason also. I want to tell you how to go out of the box, where to focus, how to focus, and where to limit ourselves. Gathering knowledge is important. You all know that knowledge is power. So, what are the important things to learn? And which are the unnecessary things we have to leave? So, I want to show the difference between the two things: where to focus, how to equip ourselves with knowledge, and how to become a powerful person, a knowledgeable person. And another reason is also there. There are three topics in this lesson. One is China, second is Vietnam, third is Nigeria. These three countries have fought with their colonial powers, with the countries that are controlling them. So, they have taken up a liberation movement and came out of the clutches of the ghosts, the people who have occupied their countries. To simply say aliens, they are aliens. They have come from somewhere and occupied their country and controlled the whole thing: social, economic, political, and mainly freedom. They have no freedom, they have no happiness, they have no peace. So, such a situation has arisen. So, these three countries fought to get out of the clutches of the colonial powers. One of the countries, Vietnam, I was a student. In 72, 74, I was in Andhra University studying MA. At that time, the rogue nation, United States of America, bombarded Vietnam with chemicals, unlimited chemicals, tons and tons of bombs, killed the entire living things, trees, plants, animals, birds, men and women, children. So, it is a small agricultural country, small people. They are living peacefully, they are growing rice. Such a place. They did nothing. America is far away with a vicious reason. They have attacked Vietnam. So, in those days, it is not, you will surprise if I say, I wept days and days when I was a student. Why they are killing these people? They are innocent people. So, somehow I am associated with this topic, so I am interested to take up this topic. Now, let us see what is this national liberation movements. National liberation movements in the colonies. First of all, when you open a particular topic or chapter, first focus on what is in the heading, what is its meaning, and go beyond it, gather information. Then you will be empowered, you will be knowledgeable. It will, of course, you can answer any question, that is examination point of view. The main thing is you will be equipped for anything, for any competitive examination. So, you must, whether the explanation is in your textbook or not, you have to gather information related to these concepts. So, to impress you how important it is to know the concepts, I have taken up the lesson. This is the main reason. So, now let us go into the lesson, children. First, let us see national liberation movements in the country. What are the concepts here? Colonies. What is this colony? Who is that bloody fellow to call us to make our country, to make our living area, to make our community as a colony? Why, how? What if we go to the definition of the colony, a country or area which is ours. A country or area, maybe ours may not be a country, like Nigeria. Ours may not be a country, but we have our own area. We have our own community where we are living by taking up economic activities. Have a nice, beautiful social structure is there, and we have our own political system. Kinship, our elders, our leaders, our religious people use it to guide us, help us, giving us assistance and support wherever is required, whenever is required. So, a country or area under full or partial political control of another country is having full or partial control of our area. So, it means what? They have occupied us. They have occupied our country. So, not only that, they are very intelligent people. Always the ghost is intelligent, because it will close all the doors, windows, and try to create problems in our house. So, what they do is they settle in our country as clerks, as teachers, as priests. They settle in our country. So, colony means nothing but somebody from outside will come, take away our freedom, and those people also live in our country. We are totally controlled by them. They are aliens. They have come from other land. They have come from other areas, say other planets. So, they are controlling us. They are doing this nonsense and exploiting us. So, that in that way they are calling this area as colony. So, colony means a place that is occupied by outsiders and where the total economic, social and political rights are taken out. So, it is an unfortunate situation. Then the question is, why they are making us like this? What is their interest? Why they came from long away, from US to here, from England to here? Why they have come from long area and doing this? There must be some reason. There we can say 4 reasons are there. One is hungry for resources. You will find gold in some places, some areas, oil in some areas, agricultural output, rice, wheat, even rubber, sugarcane, all these things are available in some place. What normally we do? We bargain on the either barter system or some other way, we share. But they want to own these resources. So the first reason is owning resources, taking resources from other areas. The second is, unfortunately, a very, very bad reason is religion. They want to impose their religious beliefs on other areas. They have their own religion. They believe that their religion is superior. Okay, let it be superior. But they want to spread it to other areas also. That is second reason. Third one is trade. Trade means business. Human beings also are a tradable commodity. They used to bring people from various places, made them slaves. So slavery is also one of the reasons for making colonies. Because why slavery? Because they want to build big concrete structures like Rome. Julius Caesar used to tell proudly that I brought thousands and thousands of slaves to this country and constructed beautiful palaces, parks, community halls. That is it. Say they want slaves. America went all the way and brought thousands and thousands of slaves to their country. So that is one of the reasons. Fourth one is, I don't know how far they believed. They have their own pseudo theories. Pseudo means not realistic. Pseudo theories. They think white man's burden. White man's burden. They are white people. They have burden on them. They want to modernize other countries. Other people are living like animals and they want to uplift them. So these are all not, of course, vested interests, business, and not acceptable theories. So because of these three reasons, they made colonies. So they accept years, decades, even centuries, like in the case of India. But one day or other, people will definitely revolt. They will definitely fight for liberating themselves. A moment will come where youth or educated or philosophers or thinkers will come out and move towards liberation. So automatically liberation movements will come. So what is liberation movement? Liberation movements in the colonies. Naturally in the colonies, liberation movements will come. So what do we mean by liberation movements? Liberation movement may be violent or non-violent, like Gandhiji's Satyagraha, such things. So it may be non-violent, it may be religion, or it may be a guerrilla warfare. Guerrilla warfare means hit and run, like Vietnam. Hit and run. They don't have weapons, so they come that side, this side, and hit the armed people of other countries and they run away. So such kind of movements will come. Finally, they get liberation. So after liberation is also an issue. After liberation is also a big issue will come. Liberated, fine. Then what? They have to choose some kind of order, some kind of organization, some kind of polity, some kind of political system. There you will, in those days, there were 4 opportunities. One is democracy, one is democracy. Democracy means by the people. People elect directly or indirectly the government to take the responsibility of the people, to take up economic development, to take up political order, law and order into the situation. So, here democratic several colonies, people who have come out of colonies, they chose democracy. The good democratic countries, the best democratic countries, for example, Norway, Scotland, Sweden, of course, India, USA also. India is also big democratic country. So, democracy is one of the opportunities where people feel they themselves are electing and ruling. Second one is dynasty. Means a king or queen rule the nation. Under them, a system, they design a system and they take up the responsibility. But here the problem is a same family, single family or few people take the total control of the nation. So, it is in their hands. Whether they rule it properly or not is uncertain. Third one is monarchy. Monarchy. Monarchy means head, one head. Normally here also king or queen. They rule and they establish all the systems, economic, social and political. Fourth opportunity is dictatorship. This is really not an opportunity. They take up some person, one of the persons, when the nation is in a liberation movement, they are trying to come out, they come out of the colonies. At that time, one intelligent fellow who is running the show may take the control of the whole nation and he will rule it ruthlessly without giving importance to constitution or anything. Without giving importance to, there is no real rules and regulations. The known greatest dictators are Hitler, we all know it, German, Mussolini, Italy, and also Hirohito from Japan. These are all dictators. And also military also sometimes occupy and run like a dictatorship, like Algeria, Central African Republic, Cameroon, Iran. These are all run by military people. So these are the four opportunities. But suddenly another theory has come. And actually it became most influential socio-economic political theories of all time. Socio-economic political theories of all time. It has come in the year 1848. It has come in the year 1848. It is called as communism. The fifth one is communism. It is a revolutionary. It made a revolution. It made a drastic change in the world. It has introduced a altogether new concept, altogether new theory, altogether new philosophy that we are going to take up next session.